It is 9:28 p.m. I spent today mostly going over the same kanji characters in lesson 3 because these ones were a bit more complex, so I had to flesh out the stories for them. So I did lesson 2 not too long ago when I did, Generation Stomach and Nightbreak, Span, those characters, we got through there. So by the time we got to character 35 with Olden Times, we did One Self, White, 100, as we got through these ones eventually to character number 52, which is Morning, I noticed they were getting a bit more complex. And so I kind of had to just keep reviewing over these. So, I pulled up Anki, and let me just open it with this user. I pulled up Anki, and I reviewed through the 2 decks that I have for kanji after I wrote them down. And then I did the same thing on my phone. But I had to write out stories a couple times because I never particularly knew which story would stick. Like, case in point here, let me try and find a specific one. Like, the character for specialty, for instance. I said the rice field plus glue is a specialty. And then I said the doctor is a needle specialist. So, if I could find one in which I did that one. So I've done that one a couple times. Yeah, like, I just kind of wrote the same thing, 10 plus rice field plus glue equals specialty. And then needle plus specialty is that one. By the way, my handwriting is kind of bad. I'm not really the best at writing the characters yet. I'm mostly focused on just being able to understand them. But, and then this one's interesting though, because it's fortune telling, but the divining rod is made out of walking stick. So you just take walking stick and then add drop to it, the primitive for drop, and then when you add divining rod to mouth, it becomes a fortune teller or fortune telling. So you're literally speaking magic in that sense. There's a weird one, like you got rise up. And so it's a measuring box and the sun, those two combine together to rise up. Now what's peculiar about this, so let me write out an example here. I have to pull out my goddamn pen cap. Let me write an example here. So this is measuring box, but there's a very similar character that looks kind of like this, where this is rising sun right here. Now I didn't draw the character entirely correct. In practice it would look something a bit more like this, but this is rising sun. This is so this is comprised of 9 and then sun. But rise up, I'm actually confusing my notes here, so I'm gonna erase this. But rise up is comprised of sun and then measure box, otherwise known as those boxes they drink sake out of. But you got, oh, wait a minute, actually rising sun is right here, so there's a better example. It was literally right over my head, what the hell? I could have just pointed to it. But yeah, like, if you have that one, it operates on very similar logic. There's a lot of sun imagery in the Japanese kanji is something that I've noticed. I did these ones, One Self is weird, because it has, white is pretty simple. It's just like a drop of the sun that's white, that's not difficult. But One Self is different, because it looks like you're pointing to your nose, sort of, but it's made out of the kanji for eye and drop. So Is it your eyes are dropping to oneself? I don't know. So you know you have some weird ones like that. Now, ones that I've had to go over multiple times, ones that I've had to flesh out the specific stories for, and so on and so forth. But I just keep going through them, man. You know, like, even if the story isn't particularly vivid, I'll just redo it, and when I write a second story, you know, one with more vivid imagery, or maybe ones that have better drawings to them, it makes it easier to remember. And then obviously using the spaced repetition system with Anki helps you just remember everything overall. So that's a thing. Hopefully the algorithm continues working out, because I'll be like close to forgetting a character that I learned before, and then I'll relearn the character if I, you know, get that flashcard at the exact right moment, which is what Anki was designed to do. So that's 52 characters right there so far. If you show me one on paper, I'm able to recall it immediately. Not all of them I'm able to necessarily write yet. Writing is kind of an issue for me. I get the strokes orders mixed up, but I'll always remember the vague outline of the character. So if you show it to me on paper, I'm able to read it, which is what's important. So that's 52 readable kanji so far. I'm not going to sleep yet, so I guess I can do this for one more hour. Let's see how far I go, reviewing ones that I still need to remember a bit better, and then moving on to lesson number 4.